Hey Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and the one behind the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. Come dream with us. Your soul tribe awaits you. I do all kinds of things, gemstone readings, mind reprogramming, energy medicine. At this time in my life, I've been redirected by Source to bring us together. The Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective through an umbrella term called Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. You're invited to dream with us. Through dreams half remembered and half misunderstood, we fill in the gaps for each other because we're all one. There's all kinds of times and dates lined up that I would absolutely adore for you to be a part of. And one of my favorite things to do is to assert that the Akashic records are not a permanent record because your past never defines you. And we can do what's called living consciously so we can die consciously. United are we. Be free. Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective awaits you. Dream with us. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, creator and visionary of Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness. See you in dreams. Hey, Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and thank you for following me on Buy Me a Coffee, for subscribing to my YouTube, for joining me like you do when I come on live. Today this is actually my second time coming on live. I feel so good because I was having so many frustrations with tech issues. And so today I sent out a link in my Buy Me a Coffee and I was like, let's take care of business. Let's go live and figure this shit out. And you know what? Things came together. So I even took notes. I took notes. I might make a video on how to do stuff because I know there's a lot of other people out there like me who are trying to get shit done and you just can't do things like share your screen or you want to use your rattle and you can't even see it because you're out of the range and just being able to hear it. So I figured all of that out fairly quickly. Sometimes it's about the timing. I don't know, but if you've been following me, there's a number of times I just could not share screen for the life of me. And so, anyway, sorry to sound so scattered, but that's what you get when you hang out with me live. It's just me being my authentic self. And now that I know what I'm doing, I want to show you with absolute confidence and conviction I can work this technology. Um, it's called performance ready. So I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but every day you need to be acting like performance ready. Like maybe somebody's watching you, and today will be the day that you'll stand out from others, and somebody will offer you an interview or whatever. So being performance ready is also about practicing, doing things behind the scenes, making sure that you're set up. And for me, being performance ready, I know that no matter how much I perfect my performance, if you want to call it that it'll never be perfect. And that's part of perfection, is having the flexibility and the alchemy to alchemize within alchemy. And so I always think about like my dance class that I was in, or when I'm making presentations, or in anticipation of our upcoming conference, Summer Days, that I want to go on the internet with the attitude that I know what I'm doing. And I don't just want to act that way. I want to actually know what I'm doing. And so I just can't say it enough. I feel really relieved that I was able to figure out the screen share and that now I can play my singing bowl for you. I can play my rattle. The only disadvantage is when I switch the microphone setting. The advantage is that you can hear the sound around me, but then if there's like the neighbor dog barking or traffic going by, then you can probably hear that. And that just is a reality, is what I'm finding. So let me know if you can relate. It's important that we have these conversations as a community. And I really delight coming live on YouTube through StreamYard and Rumble because, like I said, it's just me being my authentic self hanging out. I do offer services, I do all kinds of things, mind reprogramming, gemstone readings, energy medicine. People typically come to me when they're beyond desperate. They've already spent a lot of money, they've already spent a lot of time, they're beyond tears. They're like typically quite broken, literally, metaphorically, allegorically. And you really don't have to wait till you get to that point. And I always use weight loss as an example. You know, it's a classic case scenario. I guarantee you don't have a weight issue at all. You have a false inhibiting belief. And it's just a matter of identifying and smashing it, which, you know, seems easy and normal. Um, and it can be easy and it can be normal. We don't have to be afraid of this kind of stuff. So, anyways, I'm just getting ahead of myself now. The first thing I want to do is, because now I'm just excited to screen share. I want to screen share everything. Okay. So, if you're using Zoom, this may or may not be the same routine. I'm using StreamYard. So, without further ado, I'm just bringing it on screen share. So, I want to show you something cool. I want to show you my Facebook page, but I want to show you a little video that I made. Okay. Um, a mix of pictures and videos. So, you know what? Let me take it off screen share just for a moment. Okay. So let me rewind. So I went for a walk yesterday, 2 days ago or whatever, because I thought, you know what? I need to make myself some new flora, some spirit water, and I I keep asking like the birds in my neighborhood to bring me some feathers, and I keep asking like Mother Nature and the insects to provide me with flowers and stuff like that. And I just feel kind of mixed emotions because I know the pollinators in the spring, you know, they really need that nectar and the pollen and just even like dead leaves that are floating around. They really need that for their homes. Um, but you know what? It's not early spring anymore. So this is the time now, you know, depending on availability and abundance, this would be the ideal time in the spring to collect flowers and whatnot, right? And it's the same in the fall. You know, if you got your flowers to make in the fall, make them, but don't wait until it's too late in the fall when there's like a lack of abundance for the insects and animals, right? So, anyways, I picked up some dandelions and some of those. They're not daisies. They look like chamomile, but they're not. And I picked up those flowers. And to make a long story short, I was really hoping to find a really big hawk feather. I was open to finding an eagle feather, but you know, I knew my chances were slim, so I was hoping for like an owl or a hawk because I wanted to replace this feather here. A very long story short, my kuyas, my special stones that I use for my shamanic work, uh, hummingbird retired and died, so to speak, and a new hummingbird has emerged. And when it came to alchemizing and the life death life cycle, it didn't even occur to me that the power animals to alchemize. And so the hummingbird that I was working with, it's a different hummingbird now. It's an alchemized hummingbird. And so I recently did a despacho, which you can find some pictures on my Facebook and YouTube about that. but I took the feather from my old rattle and I added it to the despacho to honor the hummingbird. It wasn't a hummingbird feather, it was just representative of a hummingbird feather. And so I thought, okay, well, now I need to find another feather, right? So I proactively went to the park where I know for a fact there's ample Canadian geese, there's ample feathers all over the place, and Canadian geese have like pretty big, sturdy feathers, you know? So that I'm just going to go there. So I go to this park that has multiple entrances. And of course, I ended up at some entrance where there's totally no Canadian geese. There's random songbirds, but really don't see them. I did see a few cardinals. I thought maybe I could get a red feather, but it didn't happen. And then randomly, I was walking by the water and I found this feather. It was kind of covered in sand, and there was a bunch of leaves that were also shaped like this. Um, and so when I saw this, I thought it was one of those leaves, and I thought, oh, this is like covered in sand. I don't think I should take this, but I took it anyways. I found another feather. Um, I just got it here. Or maybe I don't. Oh, it might have flown away. I don't know where it went actually. Okay, well, I do have another feather somewhere. Just it's that's the thing with feathers, you know, they float away. It is what it is. But I found a little like downy feather, and I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be my new hummingbird um, feather that I work with. And then I also found a snail shell. So that was really special. And then I was about to leave. I thought, you know what? I can't find. Oh, the feather is right here, the little one, white on white. It was on my paper. I'm not sure what kind of bird this is from, but it's spotted. And when I found this little feather, I got the impression that it comes from a bigger bird. Could be a hawk, maybe like the downy feathers. Um, a lot of birds, big birds and little birds, they have extra little feathers, especially big ones, around the neck, the armpits, their legs, their bottom, to keep them warm and to keep the babies warm too, right? And this one has spots on it. Um, so, anyways, this is my new hummingbird representative. So, when I have my kuyas out, I place the hummingbird feather under my kuya that represents hummingbird. And so that's really special to me. And um, I have a kuya that represents snake, the south. And I thought this was very fitting for that. The spiral, the shedding, the letting go, the cycling and alchemy of time. And and then I thought, well, I wasn't looking for this stuff, right? I was looking for a big feather specifically, and I just couldn't find one. And I feel like when it comes to eagle condor, I'm not working with eagle right now. I'm working with condor. It's like that extra level. And recently, I not recently, a few months ago now, I went up a level, if you will, because I was working with the wise and well whale and orca elders, but it went up a level to the humpback whales. So the power animals have different hierarchies and levels, if you will. And it's like medicine. Sometimes you need stronger medicine, but you want to tone it down when you don't need that medicine anymore. So right now, the extra strength in my life are humpback whales and condors. So I felt confused that I didn't find a really big feather. And um, um, I was feeling like I needed to be more grounded as far as transformation went in my life. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to get out of here. And all of a sudden, I found this. So I don't know for certain. I'm pretty sure it's a raccoon jawbone, malleable. I forget what this is called. And when I saw it, it was kind of covered in sand. And what I noticed were the teeth. It was on the side. And honestly, just for a second, I thought, oh my God, that looks like some kind of dog jawbone or something. And then when I looked at it, I thought these teeth are very white, indicating, no sugar, but also indicating youth. And then I started thinking, this is freaky because the back molars look like human teeth. And I also, at glance, thought maybe it was from a fish. And that's when I noticed like this big tooth here, and there's little teeth in the front. So I think it is the right side. Or actually, no, it can't be. It has to be the left side, unless it's the. I don't know. I'm really not sure. I don't think this is the top. I get the impression it's the bottom. I feel like it makes sense to be the right side, but then the way the teeth grow, like the middle teeth, um, are that way. So it needs to be this side, the left side, unless it's the top right, which could make more sense because usually animals have um, their front like canine type teeth. So let me know, what kind of animal do you think this is? And I also have a close relationship with killers of the earth, not just insects, but small little furry animals like badgers and rabbits. And so, as disappointed as I was not to find a big feather, this to me was priceless. This was, I didn't know, but on a deeper subconscious level, the greater spirit knew that this is what I needed to go in search of. And of course, just before I gave up my little feather hunt, this is what I found. So, I'm still looking for an ideal big feather to place by my kuya every day to represent eagle condor. And then this one here is representative of jaguar. I'm going to work with that energy. And this one here again, I'm not sure what bird this comes from, but it's going to represent hummingbird. And this snail shell, the middle part is cracked. It was like that when I found it. This will represent hummingbird, and then snake, excuse me. And then um, honestly, I don't like keeping this biological stuff around. I like the alchemy where I take things and when I'm done with them, I burn them or I bury them. And so I'm not sure how long I'm going to have these for, but I have a feeling I'm going to have them for a little bit longer. So let me know in the chat if you can relate. Um, so this is a new routine where I do this. I add these little biological things. But my kuyas, I close my mesa for the night. My kuyas, they get tucked in and go to bed inside here. That this stuff doesn't go inside of there. This stuff stays out. And there's lots of reasons why. One of the main reasons is because those of you who are familiar with shamanic training, when you like your kuyas, they're just regular everyday rocks, stones. You can get fancy if you want with gemstones and fancy crystals, but at heart, kuyas are just whatever kind of sandy stones that serve you, right? And it transforms into a kuya once you undergo some processes, and part of that process is sending it up to the upper world, and they transform there. And then when they come back down, they're now transformed into kuyas. So I don't want to put non-kuyas in there because I've heard stories. Maybe they're true, maybe they're not true, but I am working with the biology of belief and working with consistency and frameworks that when you send it up, is it Pachacuti? I'm so bad with names. You send it up to the upper world. Pachacuti investigates what you're sending up there. And if you're sending stuff up there that isn't like in Kuya state, it's like you might get a message that you don't like. And then that message, it's like, shoot, like, why did I put that in my mesa? It wasn't intended to go up there to the upper world. And now there's an expectation. Like, I don't know. I have other reasons, okay? But let me know if you can relate to that one. So, anyways, now I'm going to put on screen share. And I want to show you the little me just go back here. I got to add it to the stage. It's the little trick. So there it is there. You can see it. Let me just rewind it for a moment. So there it is. I put like the flowers in, the vodka. There's the little video about it. And for sanitation purposes, I did not put the snail shell, the small feather, or the animal jaw bones mixed with the vodka. That went inside the test tube that I have, which I can show you in just a moment. There it is. There's the test tube. And then I put the snail shell inside the test tube. There's the jawbone right there, putting that inside. And I also put the feather in there. Oh, there it is. And this test tube, it cost me a lot of money. I think I paid like $90 for it. Because it's not just any old random test tube. That test tube, which I can show you here, let me just remove that from the stage. That test tube is right here, and this is a clear crystal quartz test tube. So it's not some random piece of glass. So if I bonk it, it won't crack so easily, but you still got to be careful with it. But if you're making an elixir or spirit water like I am, as creative as you want to be, always have to be safe. So if you're using a rock or a gemstone and you plop it in your vodka, plop it in your water, you could get sick from that. So if you just put it in here, you don't have to worry. And then obviously something like bones and feathers can get bacteria and whatnot, be very dangerous for your health. Again, you just put it in here and then no problemo, right? So there's other ways to practice safe medicine. And this is one of the most easiest ways. And I'm all about simplicity. So, and I got that tip from Sarah Thomas. I really love her. I took her Dragon Stone Medicine course. I don't remember the exact title of it. I took it a handful of years ago, and it really helped me because I didn't realize I was unintentionally putting myself at risk because I was really excited working with my gemstones. And one gemstone in particular, I thought, ooh, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like the minerals in my body were I had like an overdose of some kind of mineral going on. And that was probably why. So I just think it's really cool. So very shortly, I'm going to do a 5-minute left eye to left eye. And very shortly, I'm also going to do a 3-minute sound bowl just because, woohoo, you can finally hear me and I know what the heck I'm doing. Something else I want to show you is my Buy Me a Coffee. So let me put it on screen share again because I know how. And okay, here we go. So okay, hold on. Okay, doing things impeccably. And this is going to help me out big time for the upcoming conference, Promise of Spring. Remember I mentioned being performance ready? So it's really important to me that I'm setting precedents. I'm not perfect. Not being perfect is being perfect, right? Especially when you go live streaming, you can't predict technology, hiccups here and there. I tend to brain fart it out. I always brain farted it out my whole life. But since the severe panic attack back in 2021, the brain farts and the brain fog, they're bad. It's a lot better, but I'm still recovering from it, So I like to be open about that because when it comes to healing and alchemy, there's still like the biological cells that are healing, right? So, hi everybody who's tuning in there. I see you. Say hi to me in the chat. I see a lot of people just kind of scrolling through here. Okay, so let me put it on screen share now to my Buy Me a Coffee. So there's the Buy Me a Coffee. It's absolutely free to follow me, and then you default to getting in on the emails. So something that I want to draw your attention to are the shop. Okay, so if you go to the shop, Summer Days, $40 Canadian, folks. It's a phenomenal deal, phenomenal Dragons steal of a deal. It's not about the money, it's about bringing Soul Tribe together. Some of you are very familiar with this because you've been following me, but we've got a lot of new Dragon Dreamers. So a big Dragon welcome to all the new Dragon Dreamers. This here, Summer Days, let me show you the slides. It's going to be Saturday, June 13th. And just like Promise of Spring, we're going to hang out for a little bit the day before, and we're going to hang out for a little bit the day after. We got amazing feedback from Promise of Spring about the presenters, the demeanor of the presenters. And I talk about that in here. And now I'm kind of jumping around, but I will show you. There's more pictures right here in black and white. It brought me great joy. And I really mean that. It really brought me great joy to be the first ever visionary and host of our first ever Story Species, Story Medicine, the Continuum of Conscious Evolution conference series, Promise of Spring. So you can rewatch it. It's absolutely free on my YouTube. And I even took the time it's like almost a 10-hour day, but I broke it up. So if you just want to scroll through the playlist and click on one presenter, you can click on that. I do, there's 6 videos where I provide gemstone insight. So you want to check that out. The community that I belong to, the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective, my community, we often get mocked for sharing our story medicine, Bigfoot stories, ghost stories, supernatural experience, visits from deceased loved ones. So it's really important that we connect as a soul tribe to normalize these conversations. And that's what these conferences are all about. And so the first one, Promise of Spring, it's going to happen every year. It's going to be free every year. And in my Dragon Dreams book series, it's predicted that eventually it's actually going to generate the most money, even though it's free, because people just want to be part of the hype. People want to show their support. And the other online conferences like this one, Summer Days, and we've got Falling Consciously to look forward to in September. And we also have Season of Dreams to look forward to, Falling Consciously in September, Season of Dreams in December. Those are going to be online for an affordable cost, $40 Canadian. You'll also have the opportunity to buy the replay. But you know what? I offer a membership in Buy Me a Coffee. Maybe I'll just show you that briefly here. If you go to membership, there's one called Collective. It's a collective membership, Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness, right there in the middle. And it costs $30 a month. There's some bonuses, check it out. But one of the bonuses it's worth mentioning is you get a link to the online conferences that cost $40. So it's totally worth it to be part of Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. So let me bring you back to the shop. So if you're not interested in Project 30, that's fine. You just want to come hang out at the conference. This is where you can buy your ticket. So you just click on it. It's got the write-up there. Like I said, we got so many beautiful, beautiful messages about the demeanor of the presenters and overall preparation, the intention. We had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Things were thought out. I mean, we couldn't plan for everything, but we planned to the best of our abilities, carrying our high quality items forward, all of us who were involved, and putting our best foot forward. So Summer Days, you can expect the same thing. And I look forward to the other conferences as well. No promises. I am hopeful to host an in-person this summer. The summer conference is called Dragon Destiny. And my cat Rosie and I, we're looking for housing. So if anybody has housing, I'm not interested in paying somebody's rent, but it would be nice to live in a community where there's a beach, it's warm, seasonally, and then I can just have some space, Rosie and I, to see if that's like the right place for us to settle down and get our own place. So reach out to me. If you know somebody who has a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom for Rosie and I to rent in a place that's warm and sunny, that would be awesome. So, anyways, that's why it's pending. And when you hang out with me live and follow me on Facebook, on this kind of stuff, it's just a real delight for me to hang out with you. So, now I'm going to show you the pictures. So this information is really exciting. This information here, I didn't want to make any big announcements. Some people were supposed to be in here, and it didn't work out, and it's fine. So I know Rick Gallagher in particular is looking forward to presenting in September, and there's a few other people who really would like to present. It's just a matter of finding the right timing, right? So this message is going out to anybody. If anybody out there is interested in being a dragon speaker, sharing your story medicine, I mean, I need all the story medicine I can get. And you know what? Like all of these speakers, we've got Laura Ferguson, we've got Sheila, Spiral Sister Murray, Julia Anchorhaven, Salma Ara, Slavka the Natural Sentient, and we've also got Missy Hill talking to us about their story medicine. And you know what? Like in our community, like I chat with these folks and it's very nonchalant, whatever, right? Like Soma channels the Pleiadians, whatever, very natural, normal. Slavka, she has all kinds of special oracle connections and healing and alchemy, whatever. But to other people out there, it's very not whatever. It's very gossipy. It's very not holding people in the highest light. And even within our own families, I know my family, we have to be very picky and choosy about what we talk about, how we talk about it. And it goes back to this box that our conscious mind is very committed to, and then we don't think outside the box. But what's interesting is we do think outside the box. We think outside the box all the time, but the community around us, the epigenetics, makes us feel insecure about it. And you know what? We can rise above and we can say things. Well, who cares? I have my own thoughts, feelings, opinions. If somebody doesn't agree with me about channeling the Pleiadians, then who cares, right? Well, you know what? You're going to care when you can't find an employer and then you can't pay your bills and you have children and housing that you have to pay for, right? So you might not care until, somebody has a newborn baby, the baby gets sick and dies randomly. And now you, the witch that lives down the street practicing your black magic, all of a sudden you're being cornered by folks in the community. Like these stories are real. It's very scary. So I always like to remind people that, you know what, for you, let me know. Are these kind of conversations very nonchalant, normal, or are these conversations on the risky side? I know that there's a lot of people I meet on Zoom and they meet me in their cars because they could never have a conversation in the very comfort of their own home, God forbid, with a family member in the background that might overhear something. Overhear what? The story or the interesting dream that you had. Like, so you are not alone. You're not alone. And Laura Ferguson, she channels as well. She channels all kinds of folks. Whoever is willing to channel and connect with her, well, then she connects with them. Sometimes it's the Greys, sometimes it's ancient Egyptians. Sheila, Spiral Sister Murray, she's got all kinds of interesting stories to tell. She actually healed herself from her own asthma. Can you believe that? Right? Like it's worth listening to these stories. And then Julia Anchorhaven recently published her own oracle, and she's always hosting the show. She's got all kinds of interesting information to share. And something I really appreciate about Julia is her humility. She doesn't know the answers, and that's her quest right now for knowledge. She's questing, she's questioning things, really delighting in the experience and connecting with people. And then, of course, we have Missy Hill, who she calls herself a grid worker. So basically, in a nutshell, Missy has this ability where she just like, goes for a walk or a drive, and whatever land she's on, she picks up, like her spidey senses, if you will, start going off. And then it's like she gets information about the history. And she's actually able to heal and help the land energy and the spirit's ghosts, if you will, find balance and harmony again. So again, these kind of conversations for me, very whatever, very natural, normal. But there was a time in my life where my ears would perk up because I knew these were the kind of conversations, the esoteric literature, the story medicine that I required in my life. And it just really delights in me. So I lovingly invite you to join us for Promise of Spring. I'd really love to see you there. And what else do I want to show you? Something else I want to show you, and I will get to the left eye, left eye. We'll get to the singing bowl. Um, okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to delete a comment here, and I don't know why it's not letting me. Why can't I delete my own comment? Okay, well, I figured out how to do other stuff on here. In the past, I was able to delete a comment. Why can't I delete this one? Okay. No, I'll have to worry about that later. Okay. What else I want to show you? I want to show you some more of the slides here. So these are going to be our dragon speakers, and formally, I have a biography for all of them. In fact, this morning I was working on some slides for our big day, Promise of Spring. This is our dragon speaker lineup. That's slide number 2. Here we go. Here's slide number 1. So you can get an idea of our shape of the day. It's going to be modeled on our shape of the day we had last time, Promise of Spring. But this round, we've got some special stuff because we're going to have one healing session. Last time we had 3. This time we're going to have 1, and then we're going to end it with mini movies, right? Mini movies created by yours truly. And I've got Jason H helping me out as well. And Laura Ferguson, who goes by Starseed Lola, that's her musician name. She gave me permission to use 2 of her songs. So one mini movie is going to be 1 song. And Jason and I, we had a great conversation. We've got too many ideas brewing. Jason's on board with me. He just wants to like share everything for free, right? But in order to see those 2 movies, they're not going to be released until June 13th. So just another reason to come hang out with your soul tribe. And again, Project 30, there's bonuses in there. You can check them out. But if you join the Project 30 membership, then you get a link to these conferences. And also, my intention is every conference to release 1 or 2 movies, mini movies. But outside of the conferences, both Jason and I are on board with behind the scenes for free, sharing a link in the Project 30 membership, and as a soul tribe, watching it together, just us, and connecting about movie magic. And you're going to be in the movies too. I don't know if you know that, Dragon Dreamers? Oh yeah, you're going to be in the movies too. So maybe not these first 2 movies, but Jason and I are going to at some point make a movie about like me getting my shit together and connecting with Jason, and me coming online and hanging out live with you folks, and trying to get used to the technology and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to that. So the virtual doors, if you will, open at 8:30. So I'll just be hanging out with you. And at 9 a.m., we're going to have a prompt start. We're going to open sacred space. We're going to journey to the pine tree forest. And then I'm going to give a special little speech reminding people about what Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness is. In a nutshell, it's basically all of my content merging together, my books, my oracle. my live stream, story, species, story, medicine, this, that, everything. Okay. Um, and I'm also going to be taking a little bit of time to honor Laura Ferguson, because Laura is going to be our featured dragon speaker. So the featured dragon speaker is providing us with tuning fork meditative healing. And then it's going to be followed by Laura's presentation. And then later on, like I said, to end things, we're going to play the movies, which highlight two of Laura's songs. So one of them is called Dark Night of the Soul, and you can find that on Spotify for free. So make sure you show Laura some loving, like, subscribe, and it's really awesome. She's creating another song, but it's not ready to be released yet. So you'll have to wait on that. And I'm really thankful. It's really cool connecting with her about it behind the scenes. So after Laura presents, we're going to move on to our keynote speaker, which is Sheila Spiral Sister Murray. Whoops, wrong way. Here we go. The show will go on with Dragon speaker Julia Anchorhaven, followed by Dragon speaker Soma Ara, followed by Dragon speaker Slavka, the natural sentient, followed by Dragon speaker Missy Hill. And then I'm not presenting. I'm going to be the backup speaker in case there's some kind of, oh, hi, Missy, I see you there in the car. I was literally just mentioning your name. Yeah, technology can be frustrating. So I'm just delighting in having it on screen share right now. So there you go, Missy Hill in the chat. Her spidey senses were going off. Talking about you, Missy, holding you in the highest light. So Missy is going to be on at 4:30. All of this time is Eastern Standard Time. And like I was saying, I'm not presenting this round. I really delighted presenting in Promise of Spring. And again, you can watch that for free on my YouTube. What else do I want to tell you? Oh yeah, in some worst case scenario, I'll be a backup presenter. But you know what? Going back to all those compliments that we received back when we did Promise of Spring was the readiness. So if we have tech issues, all the Dragon presenters, including Laura, providing us with healing, is providing me with a backup video just in case, right? So this is extra workload for the Dragons, and I really greatly appreciate it because it's helping to set precedents. It's, you don't want to go to a conference and there's tech issues and somebody's supposed to speak at 1:00 and now it's like 3:30 and you're not sure what's going on. So you know what, I figure people got to practice anyways, might as well hit the record button and send me a copy, and they all did. So what a beautiful thing. So thanks for putting up with my crap, everybody. And last time when we did summer Promise of Spring, it was really funny when I was thanking everybody for putting up with my crap, because I didn't have an executive committee. I still don't have an executive committee. If you're interested in joining me, please reach out. But I really overwhelmed the presenters because I had all kinds of ideas that I wanted to run by them, and it was just like pages amongst pages and pages. But that really helped me this round to reduce the amount of pages that I sent everybody. So Missy Hill is commenting in the chat, looking forward to the conference. And I'm really looking forward to it as well. Missy was recently on my show, Story, Species, Story, Medicine. Show her some loving. She also uploaded that onto her YouTube channel. So she's kinds of things to publish, right? And Missy, I want to see 1-minute videos on your YouTube. We were talking technology talk there the other day. So, okay, what else do I want to show you? This is me hanging out live. Check out this beautiful whale, right? Story, Species, Story, Medicine, the Continuum of Conscious Evolution Conference Series. It's a really big name, but we just call it the conference, right? Because what the hell other conference would we be talking about, right? So, all of them are called that. And then they have special names like Promise of Spring, Summer Days. So, okay, I keep saying and what just happened here? I don't think I want to show you anything else on here. There's me, if you're not familiar with me. Topics for our conference, they always range, right? So I just share this every conference. Controlled remote viewing, for example, nobody's going to be talking about that this conference Summer Days, but I find this screen to be very important because the topics do range from conference to conference. And in the future, I'd like to have more of a focused conference as well. So there's always lots to look forward to. And it's just my absolute pleasure for you to join me and to be part of this process. There's the story species, story medicine, extra strength, thumbnail background. And this here is the Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. So I've been getting my practice making thumbnails on Canva. Let me know if you can relate. Hi, Jason. I was just mentioning you as well. So I will be doing the rattle thing and the bowl. I'm just excited to screen share stuff. So Jason, if your ears were burning, I was sharing with everybody that you and I are going to buddy up and we're going to make some mini movies, right? And it's going to be awesome. Okay. What else do I want to tell? I want to tell you about lots of stuff, but what I'd like to do now is the actual left eye, and the singing bowl. Okay, so I need to switch my microphone sound. I practiced in advance how to do this. So when I do this, you might hear like the neighbor dog barking or something like that if it's windy and the door slams. Okay, so I've got my singing bowl here. I'm going to ding it when it says 240, and then I'll just keep swirling it around until it says 243. Okay, so get yourselves nice and comfy. If you want to close your eyes, okay, I guess it just turned 2:39 when I looked at the time, but this is random too, by the way. It wasn't intended to be like some big healing thing, but okay, 240, here we go. Oh, you know what happened? I was being too rough. I moved the singing bowl and then it touched my cardboard box. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Okay, I don't know what I said in the chat. Jason saying somehow trying to learn talking to Julia right now. Okay. Well, take in this sound bowl while you're talking. Okay, here we go. It's 41. When it gets to 42, I'll do it. And we'll do it for 3 minutes, okay? I'm going to set my timer instead. Okay. I might have said 5 minutes in the chat, but let's do this for 3 minutes, okay? And here we go. Okay, this time for real. Okay.
always feel good after the singing bowl. How about you? Let me know. So this singing bowl was really interesting. I've got some candle wax spilled on it. I just kind of go with the flow. But so if you were listening, following along, when I started doing it, I was a little bit too aggressive, and then I pushed it and the sound stopped, right? The vibration. But then the second time I was doing it, it was like, I don't know who was viewing in, but somebody was viewing in where the singing bowl was getting way too intense, way too fast. And it was just like, don't go there, Gina. Just tone it down, keep it smooth, keep it going. And then maybe like the last 30 seconds, bring it up high and then just let it go, bringing it back down again. So let me know your thoughts about that. Again, this is just random hangout with you. I'm just excited to share that experience. The next thing I want to do is good old left eye to left eye. So you can hear my rattle, right? I tested this out. So you don't need to see it. It's got my new feather on there. Found it at the park. Okay, so this isn't meant to be like a formal healing session, but it's something cool that I do with clients. So this is my left eye. Look into my eye, okay? So I'm going to set my timer just so I don't get lost in timelessness. And you want to keep looking at my eye. It might get awkward. My eye might start watering. I wear contact lenses. I might get emotional. You might get emotional. You might get annoyed of the rattle sound, and then you're like very comforted by the rattle sound. So just take it as is. Okay. So the idea is don't stop looking at my eye. Okay. Here we go. Keep looking at my left eye. There's my timer. So when you do that, you have moments, you can't deny it, where you're like, how much more time is going to go by? So thankfully, my timer was going off there. Um, so that was good. There was a few weeks ago or whatever, I was attempting to do left eye with you and couldn't hear my rattle. And so that was really fun just to hang out and do that with you. So thank you for that. All right. So, now I know what I wanted to show you. So, like 20 minutes ago, I wanted to show you this. So, that spirit water that I made with the jawbone and the daisies and the feather, this is what it looks like. So, this was part of my dream scarf. And then this was some jewelry that I had. I only bought this jewelry last summer. It was gold plated, but my skin is sensitive to fake jewelry, like nickel, for example, irritates my skin. So this here, I just thought, you know what, instead of donating it, I will use it for my shamanic stuff. So let me know what you do as well. And Missy saying thanks. And you're welcome, Missy. Thanks for tuning in. I was wondering, I could see somebody was tuning in. I wasn't sure who that was. So those were just random. Those weren't intended to be like official healing. But you know what? Sometimes the most random things provide the most phenomenal results, right? And earlier, I was just commenting that whoever was listening, maybe this was you, Missy, it was getting too much too fast. I needed to like slow it down. When I do the singing bowl, I like to get it really loud, really fast, right? But today I was like, no, this needs to like chill more. There's like a gentleness that came with it. So, all right, that's all I have to share with you today. With me, there's always lots to say. If you would like to host me, if anybody out there hosts their own shows, podcasts, reach out to yours truly, Gina Virginia Casella. I would absolutely adore to be on your show. And when I'm on people's shows, I'm not scattered and random like I am when I'm doing Gina Live. Gina Live is me hanging out with you, just being my authentic self, doing random things. You can ask me questions about my books, my oracle. If I'm doing something like a conference, then Gina Live is a good opportunity to promote that, to ask questions. So if you wanted to host me on your show, what would that look like and sound like? Well, it could look like and sound like pretty much anything. I'm more than happy to promote the conference. I got a little slideshow that I'm creating. I'll be on Michael Kopp's show next week, Riding Through the Unknown. I'm also going to be a guest on Julia Ankerhaven's show, which I'm not even sure what her show is called. I think she just calls, like, it's her YouTube channel, like a debrief, Julia Ankerhaven debrief from Mystical Wellness. So I'll have to double check that with her, actually. So I'm going to be promoting the conference. And if you would like me to be on your show to promote the conference, I'd absolutely appreciate that. We need to get the word out there. The first conference, Promise of Spring, we got lots of dragon dreamers following us now, dragon dreamers who were feeling alone, who had no idea that there's a soul tribe, dragons just like them, with all kinds of interesting stories to share. And once you get me talking about my books and my oracle, I can't stop. If anybody out there has read any of it, I would absolutely delight in reading over a certain passage or chapter with you, talking about my spirit guides or the overarching themes, because when I wrote the series, I thought it was about me and my spiritual awakening, and very quickly realized my story is everybody else's story, just a different name. You have different spirit guides. The plot varies from person to person, but overall, we're all living and breathing the hero's journey. We all go on a quest, and we ask questions. And whenever we get an answer, we ask more questions, and we meet interesting people on the way. And you're part of that interesting people along the way, and I'm part of that interesting people along the way for you too. And it's just been a real thrill. So anyways, Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'm really glad that I got to play my singing bowl. I look forward to playing it more formally in the future, and maybe having some more fun with the rattles and the rhythm. Um, I thought Rosie was coming here, but she's not. Okay, Dragon Dreamers, hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. And I look forward to seeing you next time.